open this up. Okay. So I think I'm done here. So, hello. It's been quite a while since I've streamed on here, let alone streamed in general.
You said you weren't gonna stream anymore.
Well, to be fair, this is going to be very short. In all honesty, I shouldn't even really be on here, admittedly, because this is the last day for the week for the strike for Palestine.
Palestine.
So, to be fair, I shouldn't even be on here, but I wanted to, like, get a couple of things off my chest. The first thing being, why hadn't I been here in, like, X amount of time? And why did I choose now to come here when it's, like, we're nearing the second half of the year? So, at first, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail, because I'm not gonna come on and slander anybody, but the short version was, I was on Twitch until I wasn't. Or until I made the active decision not to be. You know, in y'all have to ignore my brother. In a sense, things were going really well. An incident happened, and that incident blew up over the last like 4 or 5 months, and thus I just stopped streaming. Like, I didn't feel like it was safe for me to be on Twitch anymore, so I just left. And I'm not going to lie, because like I said, I'm not really going to be here either. I only have this on, to be honest, because it's the one thing where I don't have to focus. I can just kind of move around, and that'll be the end of it. Like I said, I won't be on for very long, but the point of the matter was that I was already kind of a bit discouraged to stream as it was. And like I said, in regards to the Palestine thing, I wasn't even really going to do that. But it's not like, number one, I don't make money off of YouTube. I did off Twitch, allegedly, but it wasn't even all that much because my streaming was just really inconsistent. In between the stuff that happened, yes, hang that back up and fully close the door.
I'm waiting for Mom to go to the bathroom because I got drinking water all night.
But anyway, between that and like a lot of home issues and drama from there and really bad mental health spirals, I was just like, enough's enough. I'm just gonna take like kind of an indefinite hiatus from streaming on Twitch. And that kind of made me want to be like, well, what if I came to YouTube? But the thing is, I'm just as inconsistent here as I would have been on Twitch at any point. It was more so if I felt the energy to stream and I really wanted to go for it, then that's what I would do. And that'd just be the end of it. So, and unfortunately, we also have a damn dog. Her name is Dove. She's adorable and everything. She's very energetic, very playful. It's just the circumstances in which we got the dog was a little irritating, but that's another little long story. If you're looking for any... Herbert, I thought you were asleep. I thought you were, like, passed out like everyone else, honestly. Because I know even though, like, the gaming session ended early. It is 2 p.m. Listen, again, I know everybody was up until at least like 3 or 4 chatting it up. I had to move near my air conditioner. Um, like I was saying, this stream isn't going to be too long. This is the TLDR of this is that I'm not sure when I'm going to come back to streaming, period.
I'm gonna get on the computer. There's some things I want to do.
I am only like playing this right now because I have an avatar here and legitimately I don't have to do anything. I can just let her stand here and everything will be a-okay.
Dark heart just vibing.
Anyway, so like I said, I'm not going to go into details about everything, but I've just been way too drained to stream. B, there's been too much going on to stream. And C,
It's hot.
not even so much that it's hot. Even if I did go to stream, like, I don't really promote my YouTube enough. And even with all the stuff that I had set up for Twitch, I just don't feel safe really streaming on Twitch for, if you know reasons. Um, I was actually gonna try and come back and do like a small little birthday stream, because really, I don't really have anything set up for it. I don't have any ideas for it. I would just kind of stream like usual, if I'm being completely honest. Um, and even if I were to do it on Twitch, like, I don't particularly have any ideas for, like, anything that would make a stream a little bit more fun than it actually was. Especially since it's on a Saturday. I've been wondering if a rebrand would help you fly under the radar, so to speak. I've thought about that too. Cause I've unfollowed a hell of a lot of people. Anybody that was like even close to that situation that was of harm to like any of you guys, legitimately, I've completely cut off. And it's gonna stay that way. And even if any of you get any form of genuine apology, it will still be that way. Uh, just completely clean slate it. Um,
Let's see if I can find anything on the dope country on this site.
like I've told you before, and I've told everyone else before that like I was gonna like delete my Twitch permanently and just like create an entirely new account and just find everyone. I highly doubt any. Chris comes in with the unicorn. um, I highly doubt anyone will apologize to it. And you know what? That's the sad part, because everyone in that situation. I need you to. Anyway, everyone in that situation is under the idea that they're right and that they're going to. Hi, Chris. And that they're going to die on that hill. And like I said before, everyone in that specific situation that's on the other side can go fuck themselves. And like I said, I'm not going to go into the details about it because I don't need to. But as far as a restart goes, well, the first thing I'd have to do is I'd have to tell the people that I mod for. Like, I'd have to, like, I'd have to completely, like, I'm glad you stood up to your friend, by the way. Okay, so that situation was literally. So last night, I'm glad that I can, like, just talk on this and not really do anything. By the way, for those of y'all that don't know, this is a fighting game, but I don't really do fighters like that. I'm only doing it so that I can, like, run around with this avatar. Also, my brother is doing something in the background if you hear him. So, the thing about the situation last night was, um, I was actually talking to my boy, aka Cblaze973. Usually you'll see him. He hasn't been streaming lately. But I was talking to him, and he was telling me the details about a performance he was doing and how miscommunication on the part of the person in charge of the event and one of his partners in crime, how that miscommunication kind of screwed him out of $250 plus the tip, possibly. And he was telling me that story, and I was just kind of like, yo, honestly, if someone screwed me out of $250 plus dollars, I'd have to take a steel chair to that ass, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because can you, you know what I could do with $250 plus tips, depending? So he was telling me that, and then he was like, is it bad that I feel a level, I said this before, but is it bad that I feel a level of peace that, like, the terrible twosome isn't here? And I said no, because same, like, there's no reason for us to, like, have to feel a level of relief, and, like, we can talk openly because they aren't there. And then I went into something else, and he comes in, and I was playing Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom, which is on the Switch, which is a lot of fun. I was going through that. I was grinding for coins, and he hits me with the, oh, I figured around this time you'd either be, like I said before, either asleep or getting in, like, the one wrist action. And I didn't even mean for it to come out, but I think because I was so hot, I was just like, you know what, can you cut it out? It's not funny. And he kind of he kind of said, he was like, oh, fine. Like, he had, like, kind of an attitude about it. And so when I went to go legitimately clean my AC filter, the other part of the twosome comes in, and Chris kind of had to, they were talking about something game-wise, and Chris had to mention something because of what he was going to say. And so person D, who I'm not going to name, he was like, well, what is it that I can't say around you genuinely? Because I know there's some stuff that I can't. Oh my God, Pie's here too. Listen, like I said, I know I'm not supposed to be streaming. I know that this is the last day of the strike for Palestine, but this is just me, like, yeah, it started Sunday and then ends today. So I know I'm not supposed to be streaming here, but I had been thinking about doing this for a while, and if I pushed it back, if I pushed it back any further, I wasn't gonna do it. But if you're not earning revenue from it, then I don't think it's it's an issue. Oh, I don't make money off of YouTube at all. You know how far I'd have to be in the YouTube space to make money off of it? Man, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I'd have to have some kind of play button before I make money off this platform. So no, I don't make money off of this stream or any streams that I do rather. I'm a very, very small fish. Um, Plus, YouTube is very unstable at times. Twitch is too, but YouTube is very unstable. Um, so anyway, like, person D was asking, oh, well, what is it that, like, I say that comes off as slanderous genuinely? Because he was talking about, I think, Overwatch. But the thing is, in regards to that, is not so much that he kind of. That's part of why we don't stream during strikes. Like, the same way other people could stay home from work if they were able to. I wish I was home, and I'm gonna be honest with you. In the event that Juneteenth didn't pay me, I'll be honest, I probably would have stayed home. But I need all the money I can get, unfortunately. As y'all know, I can't really afford to call off to strike. And they're giving me double pay. So as someone who is a person of color that works in a white corporation, I'm gonna take the money where I can get it. And it's funny because I told Pity, and Pity was like, for that day, yes. Pity was like, for that day, you should be getting paid quadruple, but sure, we'll take the double. It's about what people can do. It's about what people can consider reparations. But Chris, you are absolutely right. That's why, like, I've been sharing a lot. Why was she bent over? Hold on a second. You are still like 16 years old. Let me see if I can. Can I like sit or something? You should get quadruple while you sit there and look cute. Oh my lord. But the thing about it is, like, the whole situation had to do with talking about Overwatch, and specifically, like, Chris either paying for certain parts of a battle pass or doing the battle pass and paying for a skin or two, mainly for people that he plays in the game. And he always ends up the target because he puts money into buying a skin or skins for character or characters that he plays. And it's kind of like, it's real contradictory because person D says that he doesn't want to tell people what to do with their money, but only warn them of what they're influencing. But at the same time is always taking shots at Chris. And I'm like, number one, why do you care so much? And number two, like, if that's literally why they're there, though, for people to spend. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, if that's the case, do you enjoy stuff? Like, I've seen you dump money into plenty of card games that you end up stop playing after a while. So I'm like, what is it? And when I spoke to him one-on-one, he had told me that, like, his mindset is that of kind of operating under, like, Murphy's Law. And I sat there, I took a minute to process it, and I looked at him, and I was like, you do realize that means you operating under that essentially means you're never going to be able to enjoy anything. Like, there are plenty of times as of the last, like, 3-4 months, I've had to tell them, like, listen, you need to stop looking for content that's gonna, like, influence your bias. Yes, having reviews and stuff like that gives you information to make an all-around decision, but when you're looking for the lowest reviews to affirm, oh, this game has so and so and so and so problems, I'm not going to play it. What do you need that for? If you're not going to play something, if you don't have any interest of playing something, that's all the reason you need. You don't need to sit and just like literally openly trash something or someone just because someone else happens to enjoy it. And I sat with them and I was like, listen, we are all in our 30s. Only one of us is closing in on 40. But we are all pretty much in our 30s. Early to mid 30s. We're at this point now where, listen, you do, you dodge what you don't. It's as simple as that, you know. And the person who was always, who, you know, I had to tell off last night, he's in, I want to say, mid-ish 20s. I think he's reaching like 25, 26, if I'm not mistaken. And even then, like, he's also always like, oh, this is gonna sound very vulgar, so warning in advance. But I remember one time we were talking about gaming, and person D had mentioned something. I don't even remember what it was. But I remember the person I had to tell off was like, oh, I'm always gonna, like, stretch open my sphincter to, like, shit on Nintendo. And in my mind, I was kind of like, for what? Like, we all know Nintendo is not perfect by any amount, but but my thing then becomes, why does it matter to you so much? You know, you have your PS5, possibly your PC, so you have what you're gonna say, you're gonna play. But here's the other thing, like, what is there coming out that makes a PS5 so much better than a Switch outside of the fact that you get to see stuff in like 4K, like highest resolution? And it's not even the highest resolution because there are still PCs that could run that better. I think I think my character just fell flat on her face. No, for real, I understand shitting on cords, but like, how much energy are you going to spend? Yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting here. My Sony headphones don't Bluetooth connect to my PS4. No, that is garbage. I am so sorry. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, this guy legit obsessed with other people's. Oh my god, Chris, I will choke. But I sat here and I was like, okay, so if a PS5 is all of that, name me 3 games that are coming out within the next year. Because last I checked, Streets was out here saying half of the games y'all are waiting for, especially anything from Insomniac, aren't coming out for another 4 years. Like, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but when I have a system where my games are slated to come out in 2027, it's Pride Month. Good time for internalized homophobia to be peeled back. You want to know what's funny, Chris? The person I had to tell off is actually gay, believe it or not. I think he's either gay or bi. I'm not sure which one. But I think I'm 95% sure he's gay. So it's funny you mentioned internalized homophobia. But, like, Shit.
For the
Oh,
sake
I remember what I was saying.
of this, we're going
I'm literally so exhausted of queer Twitter.
Sonic colors.
Like, what is the discourse? Why is the discourse so loud, and why this year? Because gay people can still be for.
Sonic colors. I'll pick Sonic Superstars.
I have not
Knuckles Chaos.
been on queer Twitter hermit. Honestly, after a while, I got rid of most all social media outside of like Instagram and Discord. And even then, I've cut my time
I would imagine.
on Instagram. So don't. It's terrible. I can only imagine. Because gay people can
Not
still be
classic
assholes.
Sonic.
Yeah, and like,
I love both Sonics equally.
I've even had to, like, I think Chris tried to tell this person, he was like, listen, I understand dark humor. We all understand dark humor. Most of us are 90s babies. But
I didn't think
if you can kind of ease up, like, sometimes the jokes just don't
Sonic
hit,
colors.
or the shticks just don't hit,
And then
you know?
for
And I had to be as, like, assertive as possible. And it was one of the first times I did. And for the first time, I didn't feel guilty about it. Like, I didn't feel like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have said that or whatever. Which usually happens. But it was like one of the first few times where I was like, no, you know what? I'm standing on this. Like, it's 12:50, like 10 minutes to 1, and I don't want to have to put up with this. It's hot. I'm trying to grind for coins to get this armor. Me and Chris were having a good conversation until you came in. Then you came in with this. I was just sick of it, essentially. So, it was one of the first times I was like, you know what? I'm done. Um, if someone had showed me before I came out how much lesbians hate on bi women, I might have stayed in the closet. That's not an exaggeration. This is going to be a genuine question, and I'm pretty sure everyone in here can answer this if you feel comfortable answering it. Why do lesbians hate bi women? And that's a genuine question. I've never understood it. I'm like, why? What? What? Like, I don't understand. It never made sense to me. Like, and this I'm pretty sure this is going to be the coldest take. But from the outside looking in, I think bi women have it the worst. Because unfortunately, there are some men that may end up to be garbage that you may be attracted to, but also fine ass women. Gay people hate on bi people because they think they haven't decided what side they fall on. I mean, they're afraid they're straight women who are trying to be sapphic and they'll cheat on them or they'll cheat on them with men. I mean, somehow our association and a proximity to men means we're also oppressive to them. What? No. Maybe I'm just a different type of nigga, cause even that they make no like. I could definitely see what Chris said, but even then, like, it's entirely bullshit. If a lesbian expresses that sentiment towards bi, pansexual people, I'm out. What on earth have I walked into? Um, Jay, in short, absolute chaos. I was asking the question of like why like gay and lesbian people hate like bi or pansexual people so much because I've never understood. I've never understood it, me personally. There's a lot more to it, but there's a lot of reasons, and they're all bullshit. Yeah, honestly, that's pretty much what I pick up from it. Cause like, because bi people can't just pick a side. We're tainted. I don't think that's true at all, me personally. Like, I've had a lot of talks with friends of mine that are bi or pan, and they've explained it to me in a sense. And I'm like, okay, so what's the issue? And I don't mean that as like dismissive or anything like that, but it was always kind of like, hey, just because you happen to be kind of like in between, and I know that's kind of a weird phrase to use, just because you happen to be in between doesn't make you any less part of that whole community. You know? Yeah, exactly. Like the way I see it, let me tell you, there are a lot of, Jay can attest to this. A lot of them exist in the K-pop sphere. There are lesbians who won't sleep with a bi woman, even if she's ever had dick, and call themselves gold star lesbians. If they, what the fuck is a gold star lesbian supposed? Gold star lesbians is the wildest one of the, basically what she just did. Face plant on the floor. Gold star lesbians is the craziest thing I've ever heard. And by misogyny, because it's only ever by women, never by men. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Why is it you'll reject a bi woman, but you won't reject a bi man? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, and then my other question, bi men get a lot of shit too. I'm not even saying they don't, but it's kind of like, if a bi man talks to a gay man, and this is how I'm rationalizing it. If a bi man talks to a gay man, does that man get shunned because he dove into some vagina? Like, how does that work? Like, I genuinely don't understand. Oh my god, my brain. I I don't understand. Like, that is, oh my lord. That's dove. Listen, my wording aside, the scenario still like, does that equate to the same for gay and bi men? I'd have to think so. Because if you're gonna do it for the one, why don't you do it for the other? Like, misogyny weaves itself into how people view others. So maybe I have escaped the matrix then, because I don't know. Like maybe I've taken the red. Wait, I don't know much about gay men discourse because white cis gays are always in trouble. You know, that's crazy, but also I get it. That's true. I don't hang out with a lot of gay men, to be honest, which is fair. Which is fair. Bi men do get some bullshit, but not those issues specifically. I think the reason why I brought it up like that is because I feel like, and I'm not even saying you should be shunning anybody,
So
but I feel like
best of 64. So
bi men and bi women
so
would have the same issues with how much you weigh down a bi woman or shun a bi woman. Because a lot of them don't do the work
hopefully I'm not looking for
to work on their misogyny or just claim they're not misogynistic because they're gay. Usually and mostly cultural appropriating culture from black women. I don't even want to open that can of worms, Hermit, because Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't even know if it's my can of worms to open, but if it is, bi women and bi men experience different types of issues, but for similar reasons. Okay, that I can understand. What I was gonna say, because I need to clear up what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, maybe I took the red pill without the urge to shit on women. So maybe I'm kind of like slowly escaping the matrix. Cause like, bro, all of this, like I said, some of the terminology, gold star lesbians is crazy. It is insane. The patriarchy fucks people up. Yeah, honestly, like even looking back for myself and like what I'm trying to work on and some of the thought problems, thought issues, not thought issues, thought patterns that I'm trying to like un unwire myself to. Like, I've never realized just how much it was kind of like. If you guys hear wind, I'm right in front of my air conditioner because it feels great. But also, um, I didn't realize just how much of it was based on like the patriarchal system. I don't know what it was. I just said the originality of black women and queer black people picked up by queer people causes internet culture, which eventually reaches white people, often warped. Couldn't have said it better myself.
alright, so
I couldn't have said it better myself, realistically. Like,
this.
I don't even really know how I got onto this topic. It was essentially me talking about, like I welcome it, but originally I was shitting on somebody or, like, throwing shade on somebody, and it turned into this, which I think is typical for spaghetti. No, mine would be like a poached egg brain, cause, or maybe a fried egg, cause it's really hot. Like, I went to change a garbage bag in the kitchen, and God, it was hot and humid, and it's supposed to rain. Culture and media as it exists today. Hold on, let me read off my phone. Is built on black women and queer people for real. I mean, they'll never actually admit it, but like, again, most of America is built on the blood and the sweat and tears and, unfortunately, deceased bodies of people of color, be it the Native Americans who were here or the black slaves that were brought here. But you know, we're supposed to celebrate Columbus Day for whatever that's fucking worth.
I never.
No, because God forbid we give black people credit. Yeah, exactly. We only get credit for like, and I think it's why I kind of don't listen to
It's around the 64.
any black music that's not Kendrick or Megan Thee Stallion, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like if Megan is how Pi described in person, I would fold like an omelet. I would fold like a lawn chair. I would fold worse than someone getting speared into a table. I would fold. Cause like, at least for and the reason I point those two out specifically is just because Megan actually loves what she does and is living her best life. And I wish her nothing but the best, realistically. You know? And she's doing what a lot of niggas hate. And that is essentially that she is open about her sexuality. She owns it and she makes it her own. And a lot of niggas don't like that. You know what I mean? And with Kendrick, I mean, I've always been a fan of Kendrick's, but the masterclass he's put on in the last couple of months, and also him dancing on Drake's grave at that pop-out concert he did, man oh man. Yeah, probably like my top three. My other one would be Logic and Childish Gambino. And Logic does count because his mother was black. So he's technically half black, half white, I believe, which is a little weird. But unlike a lot of people who are kind of like half and half or like mixed race, he doesn't take off his blackness, I guess. Like, he passes for white. A little weird. Understanding intersectionality of oppression is so important. Yeah. So, I wholly agree, Chris. That's why Megan Thee Stallion gets so much shit. Honestly, at first I didn't like it because of like, and I think this was kind of an issue on my part, because she was talking about fucking somebody. And I think that was mainly for an insecurity of mine about having not had sex at my age, especially considering how we black men are usually seen to, as one of the black YouTubers I watch, we're expected to have downed a whole basketball team worth of baddies by the time we're 25. Otherwise, we're either undesirable or we have to be gay and just not like women. So, yeah, but that's valid. It's not like you were hating on her. No, I actually didn't. I actually wanted to like her, but I was also still kind of like in my K-pop bag. Um, so yeah, I didn't hate her at all. Like, all the stuff about, like, you can consume her music and not like it without hating on her. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't out here like other guys say that she looked like a man and stuff like that. That wasn't me. But I did realize, like, that was the part that I really didn't like. And so then I was shown clips by Chris of her talking about anime and stuff like that. Specifically Soul Eater. And this is gonna sound very elitist, but nobody liked Soul Eater because of the anime, which had a terrible ending. But nobody knew about Soul Eater until Fire Force came out. So when she was openly, like, talking about Soul Eater and different anime and stuff like that, that wasn't just like Dragon Ball, I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I mistook this. And so I started listening to, like, some songs that Chris and a few others suggested. And I realized something. She can rap her ass off. And that's a lot of ass, by the way. But she can rap her ass off. Like, she is incredibly talented. And I was like, I I get it now. Like, kind of the understanding of, like, her as a person outside of the sexual expression, kind of seeing that, I was like, yo, that's cool as hell. It's the perfect. It's the perfect amount of ass respectfully. You aren't wrong. Chris sent me a clip of. Oh my lord, man, man, it lives rent free in my head. But like, she's not like some. I don't want to say like she's not like other rappers, but then again, that goes into the conversation of how most black rappers or in hip hop nowadays don't really care about the art of actual rap and hip hop and their craft. They more so care about getting a bag and selling their soul to get that bag, even though it promotes negative stereotypes within the black community that go around killing, shaking ass, and that's a whole nother bag. And while the people in my chat would be willing to have that conversation, uh, oh boy. But shit, what was I talking about? I completely forgot, and then remembered the clip of Megan shaking ass, and I was just kind of like, Jesus Christ. You know what? While I try and find my train of thought, she could kill with those thighs. Positive. Listen. I just need to get life insurance, all right, Hermit. But on that note, I now need water, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I got my water. Um, just in case. Um, but yeah. Um, just talking like this feels kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, usually I don't get too much of a chance to kind of just talk because I'm always mid, like, Dead Cells or something like that. Um, I'm in a mid Dead Cells run. Also, Hermie, you should also insert the Chris Baguette here since we were talking about Megan Thee Stallion's ass, just insert the baguette. You know, out of context, that sounds really. Anyway,
She's the surgeon.
um,
She's the surgeon for the spells and traps.
but
And they can look, their dragon main counterparts can look into the graveyard.
if I did do a rebranding, though, I'm not entirely sure because I'd feel bad because then I'd have to first I'd have to like refind every channel, like anybody I mod for, which I think is maybe like Pity and Mimi. I'd have to immediately let them know, like, hey, like moving forward, I'm probably gonna like restart the entirety of my Twitch and everything like that, and there would be some people I'd definitely be avoiding. Uh,
Higher levels from the field and graveyard.
but there's also been some new streamers that I had found. One of them is Tixie, even though I was never really in their stream all that often. Another one is named Socks and Streams. She's really fun. There was someone else that her name was Kat. She's really sweet. You can without having to like start from scratch though. That's true. That's true. And I just let whoever I mod for just be like, hey. Oh, Tixie is cute. Yeah, and she like has these adorable two little cats. I forget their names off the top of my head. And she was playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. If I were to do it, I'd probably... My mods are not changing. My mods are not changing. I would probably take myself off a streaming schedule, though. Just because... And I don't know if I'm the only one. Having a schedule to adhere to makes you feel really guilty when you can't stick to it. If that makes sense. Like, I have mine set up for, like, Fridays and Saturdays at a much later time. And the thing about that is I have such long spouts of, like, not having the energy or, like, the spoons to really stream. I hate having a stream schedule. It's why I moved away from the one I had accidentally established. I'll stream when the vibes are right. Yeah, honestly, like, that I could see. Like, I'd probably do something like that. Like, if I'm really feeling the energy or something like that, like, for example, if I were to, like, do all of my rebranding for Twitch and decide that I'm gonna just, like, do my thing, if I were to do that, first of all, I'd have to think of a name. And I think the name that I would use would probably be the name here, which is Introverted Gaming. I'd probably do something along those lines, honestly. Re my god. I feel like Chris would have said the exact same thing, which is hilarious. But the other times that I would really come back to streaming would be the first time would be coming back from my trip in August, because I definitely like to pop in on stream and just like probably put something like this on and just like tell you guys everything that happened while I was there. And then like the stream for my birthday, which honestly, like I said, it wouldn't even be anything particularly special. It would just be like a regular stream as usual, and then if I feel like raiding out to somebody, maybe I will, maybe I won't, depending on who's on. And yeah, that would probably be it, because after my birthday, I have another convention to go to that very next week, and then I'm going to be busy until like October. In which case, I'll probably have the energy to stream again, but it'll still probably be whenever the vibes are right. So that's kind of what I've been thinking of. I just hate it. Like, I don't mind a clean slate, obviously, but at the same time, it's just like I wish I didn't have to.
So she brings out
Cause it is like it is genuinely like tiring, like to just be chilling and like not even talking in a stream. Like I won't even be active, but I won't be actively chatting, but I'll just be sitting there, and then I'll see someone like redeem their daily for whatever stream it's in, and then the next thing I know, out of nowhere, like someone from the other side of the tracks, I guess I'll call it, someone from the other side of the track comes over, and the next thing I know, I have to like leave a stream for my own peace and to really try not to let whatever situation blow up for the streamer, whoever that streamer may be. And like I said, it's just tiring overall, and I'd much rather just not have to do it. And even if I were to rebrand, I'd still have to be kind of careful. So that's why I hadn't come back to Twitch at all. But like at the same time, like I got a lot of help setting things up, and which is fair, but it also shouldn't be on you. Like the other person should just know how to respect the streamer's space. Jay, I don't know if you know of the incident I'm referring to. Considering the people that we're involved in, if I don't know if it got to you or not. Considering how fast the word spread, if Jay doesn't know, we will have a gossip session, and I will. I was gonna say, like, like I was gonna say, if Hermit didn't tell you, you might not have known. Yeah, listen, I got wrapped up in my own shit, so if it was recently, I don't know. No, this was in February. This happened in February. I know what happened with you, and just know I love you, and I'm here for you, and that was a whole entire mess, and good God. Just know I support you, but what I'm talking about, and the reason why I haven't been on Twitch, yes, precisely. the reason I haven't been on Twitch was way back in February that ended up blowing up. I think I might know yours then if it was that long ago. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hermit will probably help you fill in the blanks. if, with consent, of course. But Hermit will, in fact, probably fill in the blanks. Wait. This is a headline I just read on Twitter. Ocean Gate co-founder is organizing a trip to 663-foot deep unexplored sinkhole in the Bahamas. Before I catch up, Hermit, I just read what was in the Discord. Is this person white? is the person white? Because I feel like that is very white coded. Because again, no disrespect to present company, but white folks be getting into a lot of stuff they ain't got no business getting into. And then get the surprise Pikachu face when they end up in front of a Michael Jackson concert. Of course they are. It's an ugly white man. Did you hear about this submarine? Yes, I did. Listen, the white people here know they're good. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I've gotten so used to preferencing that it's a bit of a force of habit. You know, listen, I know that Hermit and Pi and Kylo, even though they're not here. I know that they all like seasoned, flavorful chicken. All right, so I don't need to worry about them. Also, Pi, thank you, I love you, but I don't need to worry so much about them for the most part. And the way that I know that I don't have to worry about them is that Pi, Hermit, and especially Kylo are aging very well. Most white people don't. That was terrible. That was terrible. Oh my god. That was Listen, when you stay hydrated, mind your business, and eat flavorful food, sometimes you get the benefits. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was really bad. That was bad. Y'all are welcome to talk about that stuff. We just would need to stay quiet and only listen. That was hilarious. Oh my lord. Yo, that again, my avatar right now is me on the floor, face first. Oh my lord. But no, like, in all seriousness, Jay, unfortunately, Hermit is absolutely right. It did get exponentially worse. I didn't even really know how until I was told, and I'm not even really gonna renege the details about it, but it's why I've been on a very big, like, avoidance of a lot of other streamers.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to hear that. It's all right. It didn't.
It's my first draw.
It hurt at first,
Okay. Activate.
but the people that had like kind of changed the color of their flags, I realized that I wasn't really as close to them as I am the group of people here and in Discord group chats. Like, since I don't really talk to them that often, um, it was much easier to move myself away from them. There are still some people I'm very unsure about, and that's not even to say that like it's gotten to them too. It's just a matter of I'm unsure of like showing up in those spaces because I don't know what the reaction is going to be. Let me plug my controller into this 10-foot long wire that I have so it doesn't die. There we go. I'm proud of you for taking the steps needed to protect your peace. That shit is not easy. It wasn't easy. None of it was really easy, and I appreciate it. But the one thing about the no for real struggles are a schedule for me. Schedules are a struggle for me. That's what I was saying earlier too. Like Fridays and Saturdays, one at like 5, one at 6, and it's kind of like the other thing is I always feel so bad when I start a stream and then legitimately 5 minutes later I get like 3 Twitch pings on my phone that 3 other people have started streaming at the exact same time. And I'm like, no! I don't want this. You know, so there was that, but there was also more like sometimes I don't feel like streaming. I don't have the energy for it for one way or another. And rebrand, I love the new name. Oh yeah, that's right. So I actually never got to explaining this part. So the reason why I reach off, I love you so much. The reason why I changed my name on here was because Sam actually mentioned that like the name that you put for Google technically shows on your YouTube, and my whole government is my whole government was on my stream and I completely forgot, so I was like, oh wait, let me actually change my name. And then I remembered that when I would look at like my when I would look at both my oh my god, what's it called? My profile picture and also my banner, I realized, by the way, those were both very amateurishly made by me. Both the profile picture and the banner. I do like the banner though. The banner looks cool. So I looked at it and I looked at the name and I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I can just use this. So I changed the name and I also changed the @ It's still connected to my Gmail, but it doesn't use my full name anymore, which is great. So that was just like kind of a rebrand for here, thankfully. Thank you. Like I said, I'm like the banner and The profile for YouTube are like
Here it is. Alright.
literally both something I had like been playing around with on one of my older phones when I had it. So when I got it perfect, I immediately like put it on my computer and then like did a couple of tweaks and then sent it to myself and then downloaded them and then put them on and it looked great. And I was like, you know what? I dig this so much. So me patiently awaiting their deaths. That is insane. But okay, so Em, I just saw your thing on on Discord, and yes, I am too. Like, and I was telling everybody it was the first time that I didn't feel bad about standing up for myself because I was just so tired. And like, I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was the heat. Maybe I was actually that tired because it was 1 something in the morning. Maybe I was just tired of it all, but it was like, you know what? It's about time I said something. Because, like, whether I'm doing that or not, number one is none of your business. And number two, why do you care that much to always make that joke? Specifically towards me. Like, we're all of age in here. So,
I'm gonna return.
and then on top of that, for multiple different reasons, mostly the humor,
You know what? Since it's the end of the battle,
even if I was into you like that, you wouldn't be my type. I'm sorry.
and special summon back.
And also just like be funnier. Come with new jokes versus the same dead joke. Yeah. And I feel like it's more common on YouTube. But I was the dumb that built a whole YouTube career on my first and last name. Honestly, yes.
Which means Ernest should be special summon. Alright. We're gonna send another Ernest to the grave. Oh wait, that doesn't work.
A group of friends can choose to just not be friends with one person. So, and the funny part is that if he had just been integrated in our group like a year or so ago, because I don't even really consider him a friend. I don't even really know him personally like that. So I don't personally consider him a friend, and if it was just a year or so ago, we'd probably more be on the line of acquaintance. But the problem is, when he joined the group, the way I was already in the middle of typing a message, oh my god. I keep saying Hermit's speed is unmatched, but like, Jesus Christ. It was chill until C decided to be public and petty because they were mad about our fundraiser success. And you know what? Stay fucking mad, honestly. I don't know. I don't really know them like that, and that's the crazy part. I don't know Sheila like that. I didn't even know Sheila had a partner, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But you know what? Be mad. You know, like, this is gonna be the longest TLDR, I swear. And it's really... But, the thing about that whole situation is, to be so mad, and to be so petty about something, that literally is beneficial to trans healthcare, which is probably one of the most important topics right now in regards to just people's rights in general. Because trans rights are people's rights. No, it's not, Jay, it's not that they were mad. It's not that they were mad about said fundraiser. They were mad about the people in it. And then got salty that, and I want to preface this with the biggest congratulations. I know I wasn't there. 4,400 for trans healthcare was absolutely astonishing. I loved that so much. Genuinely. Like, I was just... I probably wasn't as shocked as any of you when you reached that goal. Or when you reached the goal and then blew past it 3 more times. But when I woke up and saw how much you guys had made, I was dumbstruck. In a good way. And like... Yes, absolute. I'm proud for you guys. You guys deserve it. And to be mad that they raised that much money and to be that petty about it, you deserve failure. I'm not going to say... You deserve failure. I could not wrap my head around $4,000. Listen, it's what's deserved. You know, after hearing the whole situation, I'm not gonna put their business out there, but also, why can't I see Chris's messages? They're showing up on stream, but not chat. And I'm in live chat instead of chat. Huh. Let me scroll it in. That's very weird. I don't have Chris blocked or anything, so... Show most messages with potential.
Special summon.
Is Chris still here, even? Honestly? That's a better question.
Actually, it's dead. Go back to the hand.
I'll refresh too, just in case. Alright. If I need to mod one of you guys, I will.
Because it says Dragon Maid Monster. It doesn't say level 4 or lower. So, we're going to normal summon Nurse Dragon Maid, special summon Kitchen.
Also, I just want to say, your profile picture on YouTube is glorious.
Add one from my deck to my hand, then send one from my hand to the ring.
I just wanted to put that out there really quick. Wow, I turned the camera and my avatar is still just laying there. But, the point I was trying to make was the fact that you are so petty that you are about a fundraiser. And I'm pretty sure one of y'all answered that. Isn't Sheila some part of queer? So isn't she like the Q right before the T? And you're upset because people you don't like, which really isn't any of your business, but you're upset because people you don't like are raising money for trans healthcare? Queer people hating on queer people will never not baffle me, truly.
We're gonna discard Uranus.
Like I feel like that's something. Yes, she is. We already get enough shit to portray people. Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought too. So like, your hatred runs so deep that you get mad about raising over 4K for healthcare for trans people who genuinely need it probably more than anybody. Baffles my mind. Mm.
Yes, because the greedy people need it more than the people
It's just,
who actually need help.
you know, and you think that someone would actually sit her down and be like, you're being so petty that you're getting mad over a charity.
I think it's
But I'm pretty sure that no one would do that because, as Kylo had said one time before, that would require them to really do a level of self-reflection and realize where they're in the wrong in that situation and accountability. And who likes that? Am I right? A special kind of hate for real. Yeah, exactly.
alright.
So I think in the idea of a rebrand, I think that
I'll return.
well, first of all, let me get back to the what M said in Discord. If the person I had to tell off wasn't so far into the group at this point, it'd probably be a lot easier. But the problem is that he came in literally in the midst of the pandemic. He had been integrated with the group since 2020, I think. If not mid 2020, late 2020, early 2021. So it's kind of hard to separate him from the group on PSN at that point because he's been so integrated with it for so long. And for me, that kind of sucks because usually if the PSN chat is open, I'm kind of just like how I am with Twitch at that point. If I don't see him, I'll come in and I'll just go on mute, or I'll just mute him if the time comes where, you know, he comes in and starts talking his shit. But if the chat starts and he beats me into the group chat, I don't go in there. I never go in there. And that's because I just don't want to deal with it. You know? And then along with that, he has another friend, and essentially there's nothing wrong with shit talking in a game. I think we all do it at some point. Like, I'm not gonna lie, hearing my two favorite things in the world now, hearing Hermit curse out a game and hearing Mothi and Pi playing Overwatch. Those are now two of my favorite things because I sit down like that Michael Jackson gif, I grab my popcorn and I just have a seat because it's just so great to listen to, genuinely. But the two of them kind of take the shit talking to the extreme And
You return to my
Jay, if you've seen the Boondocks, you'll probably understand this best. And I think I mentioned it to everyone else too. It essentially goes from
special summon.
casual shit talking between friends to a nigga moment.
So I'm going to bend.
And I'm just like, we don't need all of this. Like at the end of the day, like it's literally just games. This is why I don't do like comp on anything. I'm not really like a competitive type of guy. I have never seen Boondocks, and it's the whitest thing about me.
Special summon.
Oh no, Jay, I, I don't even. I don't even know what to say. Like for real, take my black card now until I watch it. I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna do that to you. Cause I also understand the Boondocks is not everybody's cup of tea. So
Search for parlor. Send lore cards to the grave.
in Minecraft is hilarious.
Since I now control 2 or more.
So yeah, it's kind of just like
You know, I could just get Uranus and special summon. Yeah,
it's hard to separate.
you go to the.
The funny thing is, I think I genuinely enjoyed it. I just have yet to get around to it. Honestly, that's the same thing with me in anime. Unless
I'll take Uranus.
I have nothing to do. But I see what analogy you're trying to draw. That's fair. That's actually me with a couple of anime, but I'll get into that in a second. Um,
I haven't normal summon yet, so let's keep this going.
it's hard to separate him from the rest of the group. And it got to the point where Chris was like, listen, I'm honestly just about to make a whole nother PSN chat just because I don't want to deal with that. And I'm like, listen, honestly, um, I may or may not join because some of the group chats you have also kind of align with like when I'm in like Discord nights with you guys, and I'm not gonna sit here. I kind of prefer those Discord nights to being on PSN. And like I don't necessarily know what it is, but even if I can't fully catch up on the conversation, it's just an overall better feeling being with y'all on Discord chat than being in PSN chat. Like if it's like me and C Blaze, aka Chris, or Souza, who's been in here a few times, and even the person with like person D with like a lot of the like Murphy's Law gaming takes. I feel like if it's just the four of us, then it's perfectly fine. Like I don't mind it. But when it comes down to like adding him in the mix, and then he gets started shitting on things, and then person D starts shitting on things, and it just like it kills the entire mood sometimes. We already get enough shit. Support your people. Yeah, exactly. Pi, I'm not gonna say anything about that because if I said anything about that, it would be much, much shadier than I would really like. To get, but the irony in what you just said is absolutely bonkers. The irony in that is absolutely crazy. Man, I've just been sitting here partially yapping for an hour and a half. I don't usually talk this much during a stream, honestly. But then again, my mind is usually trying to show that I can be good at video game. So, which I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of another thing I've been thinking about. I might want to step away from streaming roguelites for a little while. Like, to give a little bit of context, when I was gonna come back to streaming for my birthday, I was going to try and do a couple of runs of Hades, but I was gonna do it on my PS4. Here's the thing, I have never played Hades on PS4, and so therefore, I would be starting from scratch. And it's not that I'm against starting from scratch, but I've been so used to playing with like the spear and the shield along with the sword. I've been so used to having those accessible to me, along with like knowing what I need to build to get through a run, even if I'm not doing the biggest amounts of damage. I've become so used to that I absolutely dread having to start over from the beginning. And eventually, I am gonna end up needing to. And the thing is, I don't know, like, I don't particularly know if anyone would be, like, really interested in seeing that grind. So that's why I really haven't, I've kind of been back and forth about it. But I don't know. I don't know what else I would be streaming, honestly. Like, I was thinking about streaming like an RPG or a JRPG as like a little change of pace. But the one thing about doing JRPGs, they are very long, and streaming an RPG or JRPG takes so much. Excuse me. And and even though, do you have mods? Because if no, I would like to be one. Oh, do you mean on here on YouTube? I think I have like 2 or 3. Give me a second. I can. Okay, there you go. Unlike Twitch, um, YouTube has wrenches to show that you're a mod. So, I went in the toolbox and I gave you guys wrenches instead of swords. The swords are much cooler. Yeah, like you have sword. That's a wrench. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I mean, to be fair, you can still do damage with a wrench, but a sword is much cooler. I will say that. Um, but the other thing that I was thinking about was like, it's a wrench. Yeah, like I said, the sword is much cooler. I definitely like. I just got the mod pop up and was excited. I've modded a light on this hell site if you'd like another wrench. You know what? I also trust him. Here we go. But the other thing is like, what RPG would I really stream? Because I'll be honest with you, I can't stream Persona 5 Royal or Persona 3 Reload. And the reason for that is because Persona 3 Reload gets very depressing towards like the ending stages of the game. Like we get into the whole idea of like the meaning of life and different existential crises and stuff like that. Um Persona 5 Royal is not necessarily bad, but the first boss of Persona 5 Royal, if I had to put it in terms, it's kind of the reason why Hermie is taking a break from Baldur's Gate. It's essentially that reason in Persona 5 Royal, but you are not doing the action. That's the best way I can describe it. And the worst part is, that thing I just described is only one part of why that first palace is... It's very trigger warning. Very trigger warning. So, like, the other palaces in Persona 5 Royal aren't as bad, but that first palace, that very first one, the level of trigger warnings on that are crazy. Now, there is one specific game that I could do. It comes out 2 days before my birthday. It's Visions of Mana. So I could definitely do that one, because I played Trials of Mana before, and I loved that game. But I played it on the Switch. So I could always stream that. It's just that the other thing with RPGs is that legitimately, they're incredibly grindy. So I have no idea genuinely what I would stream if I came back at the end of August. No idea what I would stream. I've thought about a couple of ideas, but that's really about it. All they've really been are like ideas. Okay, I've tried to watch friends play Persona, and even if I haven't seen all the stuff, it just feels too dark in very specific ways that I can't do. Yeah, like, it's... Personas 3 and 5 are incredibly dark. The only difference is, when it comes down to Persona 5, there's a level of flashiness that you could say, and I use air quotes, kind of mitigates some of the darker undertones. But that whole first palace, it is a gigantic trigger warning. Persona 3 is dark in the way of how you summon your persona, which, to keep it YouTube friendly, you essentially blick yourself to summoning your persona. So there is that. I don't know if Persona 4 Golden has a PS4 port. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I could even stream that if I really wanted to, but because it's not as dark, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, and that's what kind of moves me from streaming any form of like Persona game or anything like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. OMG, you guys are wrenching. No, because they are. They're very much wrenches. Hades is 50% off until the 4th of July. But if I get it, I don't want to stream it because, like I said before, also Hermie has given me the TLDR, and fuck that mess so hard. Yeah, it is, it has been a rough time in the Hades is what in oh, Hades is what now? So I'm on the PlayStation app on my phone, and I had Hades in my cart because I was gonna play it for stream on my birthday, which is on a Saturday. And I see that it's on sale for 50% off until July 4th. So instead of being $24.99, right now it's $12.49. New PS4 games. I don't have the balls enough to do Elden Ring. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Stray looks like a cool game, but like the beginning of Stray is like I can't bring myself to play it. Hmm. You know, I've never played Sly Cooper before. I have to check if Sly Cooper's on PS4. I have to check that. I swear to God, YouTube refuses to keep me on live with you. I keep falling 30 seconds behind. Oh. Stray looks kind of cool, but I don't know if I personally would ever play it. Stray does look really cool, but like I said before, I'm not for like seeing animals get hurt. And I was watching one person stream it. I don't know if they ever finished it, but I was watching one person stream it, and anytime the cat would be any form of hurt, I just feel my heart sink. So I know that game is not for me. Um,
Exit page. What?
let's see.
Can I take that?
Um, okay, so I think it is on PS4. Maybe I'll try Sly Cooper for the first time on
Dragon
PS4.
eggs?
Maybe I'll do that. Cause I haven't played a platform in a very long time. I think the last one I did was Spyro, but that was like years ago, and I was just incredibly young. So, um, maybe I'll do that game instead. It'll be like baby's first Sly Cooper game. Maybe I'll do that. But but yeah, that kind of thing is why I would never like personally play a Persona game because like at least not a Persona game on stream. Just because like I know of a lot of the dark themes for Persona and I don't want to, even if I give a trigger warning, I don't want to have someone come in even though my streams are marked 18 plus. I don't want someone to come in and then see what I'm playing and then like they've had a massive like they were like incredibly like how do I put it? Like a trauma response happened. So I think that's why like I very much hesitate. Um Persona 4, like I said, is not that bad, but it does get a tad bit darker towards like the very tail end. Specifically when you're at like the penultimate decision that determines if you get the good ending, the true ending, or like the bad ending. Um, so there is that. So I probably won't do that one, but if I were to do a rebrand, I'd be clearing out most of my bio. But yeah, I'd probably like redo most of my bio on Twitch and kind of go from there. Like I said, I'd do the Sly Cooper stuff there and stuff like that. Or I'd just stick here. I think I'd probably. I mean, I imagine the stream is going to be small either way because. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I do want to do something that's not like laying in my room on a Saturday because I never really have plans for my birthday, and even though I get paid that week, I still really wouldn't have too many plans. I wouldn't be going out and doing anything until the following week because I'd be heading to the Poconos for another convention. But but yeah. And also, Jay, like I said before, the TLDR that Hermit gave you is essentially why I'm very, very much like I'm very wary of where I am on Twitch specifically. So like you, Eeyore, like everybody who's essentially in here now, minus Eeyore, um, all of y'all I would pop into a stream or two, and then a couple of the Dreamy Hollow members, and then maybe one or two people outside of that sphere that I actually show up on a stream to at any point in time when I have like the energy to sit in a stream. But otherwise than that, I'm like staying really, really far away. Um, and unfortunately, I just keep an eye out, or like I'll get DM'd if not so much if I'm in danger or if I'm in more so if I'm in a space where like something may happen Like I get warned about that, and that's pretty much it. I'm sorry you've been driven out of those spaces because that's not fair to you at all. I'm okay with it now. Like, I've kind of come to terms with it. Um, it does suck. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you because I do hate that it's like, why am I kind of like not saying that they should either, but like, why do I have to constantly do this just to like even stay in a space where I'm not even going to be actively chatting? I'm just gonna kind of be moved, like I'm not even going to be talking, I'm just going to be there, especially when like 7 or 8 people are also streaming. I'm going to be hopping between streams anyway, so I don't understand why I have to be like just so careful about it. But I've kind of come to grips with it. Like, I'm not super upset about it anymore. It does suck. It is tiring that I'm having to watch my own back. The one good part about all of this is that I'm not alone, but ultimately I do have to like kind of keep my eyes open. Like, I think, and I never spoke to anyone about this, and it happened in Hermit's stream. I remember one stream before it came out, before Chris had told me everything had come out and they kind of wanted to hear my side of what happened. I remember when it all happened, essentially, that like I was just following like the boundaries that were set, and I was in Hermit's stream, and then Hermit came, not Hermit, and then said person came in, and if you know me, you know I usually use the honk redeem a lot. And to my surprise, when they came in, they had also used the honk. And at that point I was like, what is going on? Like, is that like intentional? Like, I didn't know what to think. So at the time I was like, okay, well, let me leave out of here if it's going to be all like that. And you know, cuz I really didn't know, but I also, it really didn't matter because I feel like if I had continued, like, she used to use the Fire Redeem in Pie's channel to announce her presence. I just assumed she was doing the same thing, using the honk in the same way for my channel, which I really didn't notice that. Like, I know the Fart Redeem was a thing, but I was just kind of paranoid because, again, I usually do the honk when necessary. Well, not when necessary, when I just randomly. So when she came in and she did it, I know one time she had mentioned, oh, I really wish you had a fart redeem in here, which is fine. But at the moment, my mind was like, is this to mess with me? Like, is this because she knows she asked me to, like, not be in her space like that? And this was kind of like some form of test. Like, I was paranoid and very much overthinking it, so I didn't know what to think. Also, I do find it a little weird to use a fart redeem to announce your presence, but that that might just be a me thing personally. But yeah, like, I was very paranoid about it. So it was just like, I hope Elon Kylo. But I was at the time I was just very paranoid about it. So it does suck being driven out of certain spaces. You know, um that's actually a big part of why I wasn't in the raid train, because not because I hated anybody there, but I had no idea.
So she attaches
Well, first of all, to clarify, I could not keep up because y'all started that raid trade at 1 a.m. and I was knocked the hell out. Y'all started at 1 a.m. and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with all of this. So, like, that was definitely one thing. But then the other was, like, I was a little concerned because of people that I saw, and I wasn't sure if they were, like, safe to be around or not. And I'm not gonna lie, with some of the stuff that Kylo had showed on Twitter, I wasn't sure of a couple of people, which is why you haven't seen me very much in B stream in a while. Um, Mainly because of the break, but also because, like, I just didn't know. Like, everybody who wasn't in this group, or like certain people that messaged me assuring me that, like, it was safe to be around them, I just didn't know. And that's not a call out, and that's not a call out to B, by the way, but I just didn't have any idea. So I was just kind of like, all right, let me just stick to the people that I know, and then the other people who I've been in the community around for a good, like, year or so, that I frequent and often, and just keep it to that, and that would be it. So yeah, there is a lot of crossover, and everything's so interconnected that, like, it's hard to, like, avoid people unless you've blocked them.
considering
And even when you've blocked them, other people who may not know may still really, like, go over there. Like, I remember before everything went down, B said that they were going to raid said person's stream, and I was immediately like, yeah, I gotta go. I'm sorry I can't stick around for the raid. Y'all be easy. And thank you for the stream. And I completely backed out. Now, this was long before the incident had gone public, and B didn't know. But it was one of those examples where it's like, you never know who's gonna raid into who. So when that happens, I'm just kind of like, all right, let me step the hell back. It was,
oh, it can also go into the others. Okay. And then it just returns to you again.
you know, so it's been the last couple of months has been a mess. And I had gotten a reading that, like, I have a tarot card reading that I had enough of a solid and strong support system that I can start, like, standing up for myself or, like, fighting back or whatever. I don't know what that reading entails. Jay, thank you so much. I love you too. Because I know what you had to deal with as of recent. I just realized my phone audio was 12. Oh my god. YouTube is really. YouTube's really like, yes, let me scuff your return after like 6 months. Let me scuff it for you. Oh my god.
Alright, activate.
Mac and cheese and Thai chili chicken tenders. That sounds good as hell. YouTube needs to relax. Yeah, YouTube is. It's hard to say which one is worse. I'm not gonna lie. You know, funny story. When I had really started streaming on YouTube actively, I think it was when I was streaming. I think either Dead Cells or Kingdom Hearts 3. I started getting sex bots on my comments. And like for YouTube, there was this huge epidemic. Like everyone that I knew that was like in the circle of YouTube streamers, we'd have a whole like group. We'd have a whole separate group chat in Discord and be like, "Yo, did anyone else get X number of sex bots?" And we always made the joke because none of us had really like hit to the point where like we could be what you would call, and I use air quotes, YouTube famous. But a lot of us used to make the joke of, yo, if you get sex bots on your comments on streams or active in your streams, yo, you've made it. Like, it was so funny for no reason. They will show up in any and every YouTube live stream. Yes, and it's hilarious. It was hilarious to us because we weren't that big. So we were just like, what does that mean? Just without a doubt, sex bots will show up in YouTube live streams. No, they really will. And it's like, for us, like, in an unironic way, like most of us, we took that as like badges of honor. We're like, dag, we're getting so popular now that like sex bots are showing up. So we found it funny. We found it hilarious. But that was like one of the funnier things that happened on YouTube, man, because I don't know. It was just so weird. I've been here just talking for like 2 hours. What time is it right now? I think I'll go until about 5. Until about 5. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to change my username. And I'm going to have it match my the thing is, for a lot of streams that I frequented, I don't know, like it's gonna be a little weird because like if I switch it to the name I have on YouTube, they're not really gonna know what to call me in streams. And I don't want to throw anybody off. I don't know. The bad part is I'm also not good with names. So I definitely have to think about this one because I'm not very sure. There is always Jay's suggestion of like reborn. Jesus Christ. That would be kind of fun. But I think it would take some serious thought, and even if I don't stream my birthday, I still have time. Listen, I think I'm really on to something with that one. You deserve a rebrand, rename that'll make you happy. You will throw people off, but they'll adapt. We support the rebrand. I very much appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just really, really bad at names. I'm bad at names. I thank you, and I'm really glad that like
Perfect. Exactly.
I have the support to rebrand. Or rename it.
Listen,
I
watch
just
this time
don't
end
have the name,
and have you
and
recognize special summon.
that part is what's gonna cause me.
I'll leave Wally here.
Reborn Cuphead, but spelled backwards.
But I will say, pull me back to my hands. Then I had a level 2 remove a beast monster from my deck to my hand. Until the end
I
of Wally's turn, put my deck to my hands and get out special summon.
I don't even know. I might into consideration. Why does that almost sound German? Why does
Bring out Mary Melvies.
yo I can't even spell for pie, please. But also, how do you say it? De- dealer's choice.
Activate Melvie Playhouse. Detach with
I'm
Melvie,
sorry.
Melvie Forest.
And rubber makes me think of chocolate and rubber, like for candy bar. No pervy thoughts. You know, that could be the name for short, just in robber. I literally just shorten it to Day as a nickname and say it like Day. That's not bad. Either Day or in robber. Day Puck Day Puck and robber. You know what? Jay might be on to something. Hold on a second. I might have to like uh damn it. Matter of fact, let me put this on a list.
Position your weapon. Special summon the
Um
beast type monster from your deck and send it here. Soak with a special summon and then bait move out. Raccoon.
oh, wrong one.
Untap. Beast type monster.
Where is it?
I'll use Melvie as material. Attach to Melvie Mommy. Now I can move
I'm
Melvie
putting this in a
and
notepad
attach
note.
it to Mommy. Now activate Introvert. So Melvie Mommy gets to summon herself.
I was gonna say make sure it's something that you're cool with being called if the nickname is shortened.
Activate Introvert.
And Robes Pie, I love you so much. I'm gonna kiss your forehead. Consensually. I'm gonna kiss your forehead.
Put my Melvie Mommy on top of another proper Melvie Pony.
Come kiss. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I have it written down.
Yep. Red beef.
Yes, yes, absolutely. All of you deserve. All of you deserve. Um, damn, was there something else? I feel like I was gonna say something else. I'm trying to think.
I'm gonna play some Pokemon Showdown.
Oh, actually, I have a story from work, like a small story from work. So, ooh, voice crack. So the last couple of days have been orientation
Where do you use Mudsdale?
for my job. And this one lady and her partner, and by the way, neither one of them are white, just to let you guys know. So I wanted to preface with that, but I was at the register because I only had an hour left and the line was getting long. So I was at the register, and this was on Wednesday, which was Juneteenth. And the lady was like, "Oh, is it a holiday today?" And I was like, "Yeah, it actually happens to be Juneteenth." And she kind of looked at me a little funny. And the way internally, I was like, for my people, it is a holiday. I technically shouldn't be here, but the money they offered me was fantastic, so I couldn't pass it up. But I didn't do that because I didn't want to come off as like a little prejudiced. And even if I didn't, I highly doubt that she would have understood that, like, the significance of Juneteenth at that point. So I kind of left it alone for the most part. But it's not prejudice to say that. It's just true. But I understand just leaving it be. Yeah, like, some people are not really gonna, like, non-black people are not gonna get it. I'm gonna say it like that. Like, non-black people are not going to get the significance of why, like, Juneteenth is a holiday. And that's fine. I don't mind that. But it's always awkward to, like, ask that kind of question and you say what the holiday is, especially Juneteenth. Yeah, it isn't worth the conversation. Like, you tell them that and then they look at you funny. Like, the response you get is like, "Oh." And of course, she didn't say that out loud, by the way. But sometimes you can just tell on a person's face that they don't get it. So I'm just kind of here and I'm like, you know what? If you don't get it, you don't get it. I don't have to personally explain it to you. The internet is right there. Look it up. Google is available. If you'll look up there being a sale at a store, you can look up what Juneteenth is. I'm not going to sit here and explain that to you. But there was that. And then another person came to me and they were like, "Listen, it's still Pride, but you're more than welcome to Pride since it's Juneteenth." And I'm like, "Listen, I appreciate the invite, but I'll tell you, like I've told other friends of mine, I have a whole month." February is a whole month, okay? All I ask is that there's space to be made for us this one day. After that, the entirety of June belongs to y'all. It's as simple as that. And I know what a lot of y'all are going to say, so before you guys say it, that's not me, like, diminishing anything.
Listen, I'm willing to share if you are.
Okay, but it's the shortest month we can share. Well, if you really think about it, if you take Juneteenth and add it to the month, technically rounds out to 29 days. But I do understand. But also, like, to me, it's always kind of been the idea of, like, CJ understands. It's always been like, yes, blacks in America are just, ultimately, we get treated like we don't belong here, even though 100% of white people also don't belong here. Technically, we also have next month Minority Mental Health Awareness Month.
Minority mental.
That's a thing?
Wait, can someone explain that, please?
I'm gonna have to look that one up a little later, probably off stream. But
I'm gonna look it up in a minute.
my main point is, yeah, I didn't either. But my main thing is, I feel like there's a level of, there's an awareness month for almost everything. Oh God. That means all the white cisheads
Really?
are gonna have a straight pride month. Oh my God.
Straight.
Oh my God. I hate it. I hate it so much. Look, Jay, please, please, no. But my main point was, based on some of the stories that I'm told in, like, the Discord group chats, in regards to pride for y'all, there's still so much work that needs to be done. And I feel like, oh wow,
Oh,
Dead by Daylight did a pride fundraiser? Yo, good for them.
Cool. Kind of wish cassette.
Just sit in the white shit that's in the room with me. I'll make them tremble just by existing. Jay, please. Oh my God. But the point that I was trying to get at is that, not to say my people don't deserve the month that we have or even the day that we have, but you guys also deserve to have this month to show the pride in just existing and being alive and being true to who you are. You guys deserve that. Don't clap for them. They included someone who identified as a straight ally and used a straight. Oh no, they ruined it. Come on, DBD, you ruined it.
They ruined it. They ruined it. No.
God, man, they were on the right track, and then they used that.
It.
Damn.
Ruined it. I'm leaving.
But back to my point. Y'all deserve the month. Like, y'all deserve the, outside of that one day, the rest of that month should belong to y'all, and the pride in existing and being who you are unapologetically.
Yes.
You know? And if that makes niggas uncomfortable, and I use niggas in a general term, but if that makes niggas uncomfortable, that's kind of the point. Okay? Just like when it came down to slavery times, peace was not something that got the point across. We can hold space for Juneteenth and Pride Month at the same time. No, I'm not saying you can't. But from my own perspective, when it comes to Pride Month, have the space for Juneteenth, but I'm not going to speak over what the month is for y'all, is what I mean. because I still think that is very much as important as Black History or what's the other one? Shit. Women's History Month or I know there's one for like Pacific Islander or such. Okay, but it's also Indigenous Heritage Month. Wait, this month? Is it really? Okay, but I was a black creator I follow has recommended the 12 days of Juneteenth because the 19th to the end of June is wow. That's actually kind of interesting. And also kind of funny because I am in a lot of queer spaces.
I need to find a queer space.
The 12 days of Juneteenth from the 19th to the end of June.
Can I send in my next Pokemon?
Damn.
Oh, he used flip turns, so he has to switch too.
They might be on to something. The 12 days of Juneteenth.
Never heard of that.
Damn. And that black creator might be cooking Loki. But yeah, I didn't mean to like say that one is more important than the other. I was just trying to say that like even though Juneteenth is there, just as February has a month for Black History, queers and trans people and gays and lesbians and bis for any of y'all that come through here and are biphobic. Shut the fuck up.
There are people who are biphobic.
Okay? I wanted to stress that bi part. But
I will never understand the hatred.
y'all do deserve that. To celebrate yourselves and at least not rooted in the phobia of, it's me, I'm the bee, buzz buzz.
I agree.
Also, queer community could stand to be more intersectional for biphobic, more like bi. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? I can still do this.
You'll love this.
I can still do this. Yeah. Yeah, this is still available. That's right.
But
That's right, I can do it.
definitely agree with Daniel.
Don't worry, Pi. I got you.
Because you guys are
Not the. Yeah, you didn't know that could be done.
just as much as anybody else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gotcha.
You shouldn't have did that, though. You shouldn't have did that. That's on you.
That's right. In 4K.
Oh my gosh, dude. Let's play some more show.
Wait, what? You can't?
Cleavor? Oh, no. That's a rock type. What am I doing?
We always have work to do being intersectional. I feel like I feel so bad that like there's so much division in y'all's communities. Like it's mind-boggling to me because it's like the whole purpose of that community is to have something where you all can exist and celebrate. Is the difference between wrenches is that the difference between wrenches and swords? This is a hate crime. Maybe I'm actually wondering because like I can pin just fine. Um, I'm gonna do some lookups on that. Also, my phone is at 10%. And I'm going to have to charge it at some point.
But I definitely agree with my bro. Because regardless of anything, y'all are still people and y'all deserve to live. Y'all deserve to live as you know, y'all deserve to live as your authentic selves. You shouldn't have to be judged just because someone doesn't like you for who you are. That's not fair. That's just spreading
Alright.
hate. This month, you guys deserve it. My
I've been on chatting for like 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. And my headphones are starting to make me pretty hot, and I might have to get some more water soon. So, I'm actually gonna end right here.
I watch preview.
Um, I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest. I guess the long story short is I don't really know the next time that I'm gonna stream. And even if I do know, it may be on Twitch, it may be on here. And on top of that, I still need to. It looks like I have a rebrand name down. So there is that. Um, but yeah, thank y'all for coming and like listening though to me yap for 2 hours plus. I didn't think I was capable of that, but I guess when you don't have people to listen to, and you're just kind of talking, the time really flies by. So before anyone else gets like upset or angry or whatever, I'm gonna go. Um, we stay yapping. I'm gonna go. Um, no one streaming that I care about anyway, as far as like YouTube goes, and I really couldn't be asked. I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys so much. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.